It is a peaceful day in South Korea as one by one the young women of girl group Moksuri arrive in the kitchen. Minyu focuses on her food while Java sits at a corner of the table, seemingly ignoring everyone.
Please, please, please.
It's Red.
Pomsu?
Yes, it's me. So Young told me what happened.
Yeah. I don't think I can manage to be near you for a while.
Because of
Because of the other, yes. I'm so sorry, but I'm scared. This is really scary.
Okay. Can we still communicate through looks? When I'm me? From a distance?
Oh, of course.
You don't want to talk to each other anymore?
The other one is too scary.
Bomsuk wears red and Philip wears blue. You can just separate them. And since they swap in their sleep, just don't be with him before and after. But during the day...
But it's scary. It's like there is a ghost inside her.
Bum-suk looks innocently at Jawa, who in turn tilts her head. Then she shrugs and looks at Minyu again.
Philip jogs around the corner and sees a face he knows. The young man joins him and hip bombs him. Cosmo smiles slyly.
It's been a long time since anyone's seen you run.
I used to run every day. It's not that strange.
No, not that. But seeing you back here now, it's so nice.
Yes, I'm back.
Then run. Faster!
I've just begun to run again. It needs time.
Okay, step by step, on your terms, but always in action.
Good.
But I will run faster, so that you'll want to catch up. I'll be your motivation.
Cosmo.
Danby and Rim approach Bum-suk in their dorm at home. They briefly check the color of her top, red. Then they go to see her. Bum-suk sits alone at the dining table, reading a book. Danby watches her closely. She analyzes her for a moment, then charges Bum-suk and cuddles her. Then she moves Bum-suk's chair so she faces them. Rim takes the book from Bum-suk's hands, making sure the bookmark, a talisman, stays where it is.
We have to talk. Are you willing to listen to me?
Of course.
We are researching what is actually going on.
What do you mean? Are you going to finish this?
This body swapping thing. What else would it be?
Bum-suk looks pensively at Rim. Danby watches their faces and realizes that Bum-suk is not following their train of thought.
We're trying to find out how to make it stop again. Prevent you swapping bodies with this guy.
You mean with Philip?
Danby and Rim nod. Both seem unhappy with Bum-suk calling the other by his name.
Can you tell us more about the whole thing? Maybe that way we can find a way to make it stop. Do you even know how it started, Bum-suk?
Bum-suk looks thoughtfully at Danby. Then, after a while, she shakes her head. Rim and Danby sigh and lean back in their chairs. They look at each other and silently communicate.
That means you're just going to accept it. The body switch?
I'm mostly trying to deal with it and make the best of it.
She pauses, seemingly staring into the distance. She's not finished explaining and the other two notice. Danby looks at Rim, who continues to stare at Bum-suk.
Besides, it's not just about me. Philip has just started to move again. I want to support him in that. There's something odd about him, like he's stuck in one place. I don't know how to explain it better, but I feel sympathy for him.
Emily stands in her room in front of a wall full of Moxery posters.
Yes, I rearranged all of this. The new trends deserve a little polish.
She checks the chat window on her computer. An international Nori group is constantly posting new comments. Emily replies in English.
How good is it to have found Nori about Moxori? We're all crazy in our love for these strangers.
Crazy little sister.
Should we be here? No, wait. Where are we?
Dunby and Minjo's show is just around the corner from here. Would you like to run into Norway on your way, by any chance?
Well,
I know you don't, and I won't let you anyway.
what do you want?
You have disappeared off the face of the earth.
What are you talking about?
That's what the Nora think. And the people around you realize how crazy you are right now.
I disappear off the face of the earth every now and then in Nora's eyes. They know I'm busy.
I see. And why are you doing this now?
Personality.
Can't you give any serious answers?
The driver rolls his eyes and turns back to the driving wheel. He starts the engine and Bumsuk looks at him irritably and completely perplexed that the conversation is ending like this.
At the same time, Emily comes running into the kitchen and throws her bag carelessly into the corner. Philip sits and enjoys a delicious drink. His sister is ransacking the table for something.
Are you going to tell me what you're doing?
She looks up briefly and then waves him off. Emily continues to focus on her search, stops abruptly and looks up again. She walks over to her brother and stops in front of him. Emily glances at his drink. At least he thinks she is. But actually, Emily is looking at the letters underneath the glass. He misinterprets her look and offers her his drink. She pulls out the letters at the same time and stares, horrified, at the wet, round circle the glass has left on them.
How can you do this?
What?
They better be unharmed.
Slightly panicked, she leaves and can be heard running up the stairs. Philip looks around the kitchen dumbfounded. He shrugs and rolls his eyes.
Does this fit with his abilities of doing things?
Yep.
I don't understand why you need a training plan for this guy. What do you see in him?
I want to cheer him on to do whatever he wants to do now. Because he has decided to keep moving.
Didn't you just say something like that?
Well,
And why am I writing the training plan?
Because you're not at all the way you pretend to be with him.
What? You have no idea how the situation feels. How powerless you feel.
You're not the type to get mad like that.
Like, how would you know?
Annie, I've known you for most of my life.
Exactly. How could I not be like that when you're taken away from me? I don't know when or how you're going to come back. I can't help but be angry.
But
for me, your absence is shown through anger. Soyoung is the opposite. She makes sure that your place in the world of idols is still there when you come back. Each of us has their own way of dealing with this, and also of dealing with Philip. He takes your place. Because of him, you're missing here. Doesn't it worry you? Aren't you afraid of being separated from us?
Phil, I mean, I know you... No, as long as I'm there, I'm getting to know a whole new world. And I know that I will return to you. That makes me happy because you have always been my place in the world. And I know that this place belongs to me alone.
We will continue looking for a solution, Bumsuk. We will save you, so don't wait up. It's going to get late.
Philip enters the living room. Emily is asleep on the couch. He looks at the TV. A playlist with Moxery videos is playing. Philip sits down at her feet and watches the chaos for a while. Then he reaches for the remote and ends it all.
You look so happy. Your love for these chaotic people makes you glow. It gives you so much vitality.
He looks away from her face, towards the window and into the darkness of the night.
Please, find the drive to one day do something yourself, and not just chase after them.
He takes her into his arms. Then he carries her towards the stairs to take her to her room.
Meanwhile, Bumsuk is lying on the floor in the dance studio. The others are there too.
That's good.
Yes, what Minyu said.
Thank you, Rim.
Yes, really nice.
I like it.
How are things going with Philip at the moment?
The other one.
Psst, is he as useless there as he's here?
So, is it still as oppressive as it was for you in the beginning?
It's changed.
Oh, please, skip the nonsense now.
Philip and I are slowly getting into the groove. And on top of that, he's slowly starting to move.
Philip sees today's mail. The letters are opened and he sees birthday postcards with pictures.
Why birthday? What kind of cards are these?
He looks at them closely and at the grinning faces of the members. He looks at the other cards. Some selfies look failed. He giggles and rolls his sister to the side a little. Then he takes the letters safely from the bed and puts them on the desk. As he leaves the room, he begins to stretch quietly.
You're cooking again.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
When his mother says again, Philip squints at her suspiciously for a moment. But she promptly distracts him by starting to whistle.
Are we going to cook together today? Or do you want to do this by yourself? Step 1, awaken dormant skills. Step 2, try out recipes. And then... it's your choice.
It must have been Bumsuk, right? Bumsuk has already set this in motion. She has...
It's so nice to see that you found your way back to cooking on your own.
On my own? Right. I didn't know that. Bumsuk kicked this off. It's like we're moving in the same direction. Bumsuk is my companion in a weird, twisted way.
Bumsuk and So Young finally have the time to talk in peace. The city lights are reflected on the Han River. Aimlessly, the two girls walk together, arms linked, enjoying their time alone, balm for the soul.
It's nice that you're just being yourself again.
Do you miss me that much?
What's the point of asking? Of course. Hey, over there, a bench. So, what's on your mind?
Philip, you guys don't like him, right?
It's more that we all find it hard to accept that he takes over your body from time to time.
But you have to accept that. And when you do, you will learn to accept him, won't you?
It's not like we are all being cold to him.
So Young looks at the scenery in front of them for a while. Bum Suk looks at So Young from the side and grows a bit impatient the longer it takes for So Young to answer.
Accepting him means accepting that someone just takes your place randomly and without warning. That's not how the world is supposed to work. We don't want anybody else in your place, because you are Bum Suk and Philip is Philip. You belong here. I'm sure he has a place where he belongs too.
So Young Oni. Philip is just learning to accept that he got stuck in his life and he's slowly starting to move on. It may even be because of you and me. That's why I don't want any of us to make it harder for him, but instead make it easier for the people around us to go through life.
That's what being an idol is all about, right? To inspire people to be better.
Philip's room looks the same as always. Clothes are lying around, dust is on the bookshelves, and his desk is full of stuff. Philip enters his room with an empty laundry basket and looks around. He begins to pick up whatever is right by his feet. There are paper rolls, dust bunnies, and clothes. He throws all of it into the basket. When the worst is gone, he looks at the desk. Immediately, he changes his mind and focuses instead on Mr. Otter and the bed. A brief smile plays across his face, and he pats Mr. Otter on the head. Then he begins to strip the bed.
Jaya gets into the back seat and stretches. She lifts her legs and slips out of her red high heels. She drops them one by one with a satisfied grin on her face, and then she yawns with her mouth wide open without covering it. The driver rolls his eyes behind the steering wheel, but he also yawns a few seconds later.
Why am I stuck here?
This has been your job for years.
I don't mean the driving, I mean the babysitting. Yehua, does Pum Suk seem weird to you these days, too?
Yep.
Isn't there anything you can do about it?
Why?
Because you're the oldest. And as one of the members, you can get to her much better.
She's old enough to take care of herself.
What did I ever expect from you? You're clearly acting like the youngest.
We all had to be old enough early enough and represent ourselves. That's why we're free to be childish if we want to be, okay? So I choose to be childish whenever I can.
All things considered, she does sound like a grown-up every now and then.
You really are with me forever, aren't you?
Philip stands in a field on a beautiful day and turns around to Cosmo and Emily. They are playing around, bumping shoulders with each other over and over. Their attention belongs to Philip, but they are in tune with one another as well. Philip smiles at the sight of them.
What's going on?
Happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday, my dearest brother.
Proudly, they look at him. He's touched and smiles at them. As he approaches, arms wide, Emily pushes Cosmo forward. Giggling, she takes 2 steps backwards as Cosmo and Philip stop, bumping into each other. Both turn to face her. Their eyes sparkle.
Go for it!
Amelie!
Philip hugs her and whirls her around once, while her arms are still behind her back. Then he puts her down and she presents the gift she had hidden there. Cosmo joins them. Philip looks at the object in confusion. Emily nudges Cosmo with her elbow, and they both raise their arms.
Surprise!
What? Are you guys kidding me?
We made it ourselves,
It's a team effort.
so that you always have something that was made with love.
Mr. Otter.
It's already very late. Jeha drops her things one by one on her way in. First her bag and then her jacket. She collapses on the sofa in the living room, feeling exhausted.
I'm so tired.
Minyu sits there staring into the distance, her legs pulled up. A little light gives her comfort in the night. She seems to be deep in thought. Minyu looks up at Jeha. Jeha gives her a hard look. Then she checks the clock and reproachfully looks back at Minyu. Before she can open her mouth though, Minyu jumps up from the sofa and runs to Jeha and hugs her.
Minyu! Oh, you almost gave me a heart attack.
Onni, I'm glad you're here.
Why are you even here? Shouldn't you be asleep by now?
Maybe. I've been waiting for you.
Why?
I don't want to be alone with Pumsuk in our room.
Oh my god, are you stupid? Why?
No, I'm not. Rationally, I know that. But emotionally, I'm afraid. I don't want to be close to her. It's scary. And it doesn't matter how clear my head sees it. My heart is racing.
Come here. We'll go together, okay?
Why are we at Pumsuk's bedside now? Our beds are over there.
Do you want me to tap her? What's your problem? You don't have to sleep in the same bed with her again. You're far enough away from her.
Where? How do you sleep at night when you know there are ghosts?
Go to sleep, Minyu. It's fine.
Philip stands in front of his house in gym clothes. He holds up his hand against the sun and looks at the sky.
Okay then, let's start. It's so much easier now. And I even enjoy it.
The sun is shining in South Korea too. The driver is currently sitting on a bench enjoying the warm rays of the sun on his face. The lunch on his lap is almost forgotten.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
What's this about?
Nore?
Yes?
No, that's not what the focus is on, but about what we were saying the other day.
Thank you for confiding in me.
I drifted off because, in fact, everything is not normal right now. But everything is fine. That's what I wanted you to know.
What's the story? What's not normal?
A friend of mine is in trouble. Something extraordinary is happening in his life right now, and yet he's getting more and more caught up in everyday life. Cooking, cleaning, and...
The things you like to do.
Yes.
So, you're trying to explain your situation to me?
Not really, but he's like me.
Then I'm sure he's very lucky to have you around.
Philip is finding his way back again, but I still don't know why he retreated in the first place. And could it become a problem again?
Emily walks over to Philip's desk. She starts tidying it up by putting the folders and papers onto the bookshelf. She takes great care to leave everything in the same order as it was on the desk. Once that is done, she puts the photo frames into an upright position again. Looking at them, she crinkles her nose. A few quick steps take her to the window, and she opens it. She notices Mr. Otter and gives him a sad look. She picks him up and pats him down to rid him of the dust. But he is free of dust. Puzzled, she puts him back and catches sight of the little notebook Philip hid. She picks it up. The cover page states, "For my other self." She smiles in amazement.
Has he started a diary to deal with his past?
Her eyes begin to sparkle and she opens the notebook carefully. Her hands tenderly run over the paper as her eyes take in the words.
Oh, Philip.
Abruptly, Philip stops and looks around his room. Emily is standing near the desk. His gaze takes in the empty table and the full shelves. She turns to face him. He looks at her, annoyed, until...
You... Did you read it?
That's what interests you? And not that I cleaned up your desk?
One thing at a time.
How was the running? You don't seem to be going anywhere once you get here.
I haven't been running yet. I forgot my stopwatch.
Wait, what?
I'll lock the room behind you. You seem to have nothing but nonsense on your mind.
I'm sorry for taking an interest in you.
Doesn't seem like she's read quite that far yet.
He sees the open window and briefly considers whether to close it. Then he looks out. The weather is lovely. The sunlight hits the picture frames on the shelf. The layers of dust around them throw up a few motes dancing in the light, welcoming the pictures out of the dark.
The girls lie on the floor of the dance studio. Bum-suk searches for someone to hug. Her eyes find Min-yu's and they communicate briefly in their unique way. Min-yu apologetically signals that she is still afraid, but there is also longing in her gaze. Bum-suk reassures her. She gets up and passes Cheya, giving her a tap on her belly, while continuing onwards to join Dan-bi. Rim and So-young are on the sidelines and watch.
Everything will be fine.
I know, but right now I miss you guys so much. And it feels like I'm disconnected from you all right now.
Exhausted, Philip closes his eyes for a while. Then he opens them again. He finds a familiar figure standing in front of him with a broad smile.
Hello, Philip.
Cosmo?
Yep. Ah, like watching a stiff tree in the wind.
Haha. Real funny, Cosmo. Do it better then.
I was going to check on Mr. Otter.
What?
You know, the stuffed animal Emily and I gave you almost 5 years ago. Mr. Otter.
I know what you're talking about. He's the guardian of a little treasure right now.
Oh, really? And what about Emily? Isn't she your much bigger treasure? Who is guarding her? You're still keeping her at a distance, aren't you? Why is that?
You know exactly why.
Despite the fresh smell of new linens on the bed, Pomsuk knows that she's back in Philip's room. Pomsuk opens her eyes and looks at Mr. Otter. She rises from the bed and bows to him briefly and regards the desk. It is empty. Surprised, she continues to look around the room. The empty desk, the lamp with the talisman, the full shelves, and on it upright picture frames, no longer lying in the dust. The photos instantly draw her focus, and she doesn't even notice anything else. Pomsuk approaches the shelf and curiously looks at the pictures. Her eyes find the cracks in the glass, covering the picture of Philip, Cosmo, and Emily.
Meanwhile, in South Korea, Philip wears a blue sweater like he always does when taking up residence in Bumsuk's body. He watches Minyu take a detour in order to avoid him, just because she is Bumsuk in blue.
I thought you were something of a devil, so why are you avoiding me? You're much taller than me and also... Please just hold on a second. You're much stronger than me. Take a look at your life. Why are you afraid? Look around you. Your Oni's always standing by you. There isn't anyone to be afraid of.
One of my Onis is standing in front of me, but she's not there. That they are not there, that's what I'm afraid of.
Minyu, you are right. I'm sorry for putting you through this fear. I'm really sorry.
Philip lowers his gaze. Minyu looks at Bumsuk with a sad and pained expression. For a moment she seems to want to take a step forward, but then she turns on her heel and walks off.
Who isn't afraid of losing their loved ones?
Philip, open the door.
I heard you on the first time.
It's a lot more fun this way, though. Besides, I'm your little sister. Being annoying is in my job description.
What's in the bag?
You're coming shopping with me. So, you're not going to complain about me taking you?
Why would he?
Sure, why? No, wait. I'm sure you will explain why I had to come along.
It's about Nore.
Nore?
Nore, the fans of Moxori. You wanted to know what it all meant.
What it means to you to be a Nore, or what it means to you?
Both.
Go ahead then.
Nore is what the fans of Moxori are called. We love all 6 of them, no matter how chaotic they are. They always make us laugh and warm our hearts. Whenever we Nore need a little light in our life, we can look to them. And with them, we see all the other Nore. These wonderful people who love the same thing as we do. People from all over the world who break barriers, share, and come together. To me, being a Nore means loving Moxori and loving the bubble they have created. All the people behind them, they all shine a little light full of warmth. My love for them, my passion, makes me think about limitations in a whole new way. How much effort does it take to learn a new language? How much money do you need in life for what? In all my thoughts, I see a path made of love. I want to move forward because love drives me forward. I know you always say my passion should not be focused on others, but on myself. But my passion allows me to develop skills that I would have never paid attention to before. As part of a path of passion, they're much easier to learn, and they are a part of that passion. I grow beyond myself, just like your passion for dancing did for you. As long as you are doing what you love, all parts of the path are easier to take and you shine your own light.
How sweet.
You are a smart young woman who has her own views and knows how to stand up for them. I'm proud of you.
Pomsuk looks at Emily as she walks ahead and watches her back. When she's ready and determined, she catches up to her.
Amelie,
Yes?
why do you think I stopped dancing?
Because you went to uni. At the time you thought it was more important. And because everybody's expectations forced you to focus on your studies. You wanted to work on your vision of yourself in the future. And I don't know why there was no more room for dancing next to that. Without it, your only distractions were Matteo and Cosmo. And sometimes me too. But then you distanced yourself and gave it all up.
So that's why.
Philip stands in front of a billboard. There is a Moxori band poster with dates for a world tour. His gaze lingers on a German show.
No, you can't just disappear. This body means something to us.
I'm sorry, Dunby. Did you say something?
If you're not feeling well, leave Bomsuk's body.
If only it were that simple.
He looks at the poster again. Dunby looks at it too. She opens her mouth as if to speak, but then realizes how inappropriate it would be.
Oh man, what's the matter with you?
Let's go on. Sorry, I was just thinking.
Just say what's got you so deep in thought. I don't want to see an expression like that on Bomsuk's face right now.
I miss my sister.
You have a sister?
Yes, a little sister. Haven't I mentioned it?
So do I. Her name is Bin Na. She's also an idol. Have you heard of the group Joy?
Mm-mm.
Then I'll show you Joy's music when we're home. But what about your sister? You want to be with her, don't you?
Of course I do. She's studying at uni and really only has you guys on her mind.
Us? Do you mean Moxori?
Yes, she is a Nore. I understand more and more what she finds in you guys. But as a big brother, I wish she would focus on her future and not get distracted. Also, I just want to be around her.
He turns his head away and his expression reflects the dark memories his mind is dwelling on. Dunby looks at him curiously.
You will soon be with your sister again. Rem and I are looking for a way to get Bomsuk back, and if we can find a way to make it stick, he won't switch anymore and you'll be with her again. It's a win-win situation. We're in the same team.